That is our job. What a job. To liberate people from the gospel of Peter and to bring them to the gospel of Paul. That's why Paul said, I, Paul, he identifies, I, Paul, say unto you that if you do what Peter does, Christ is of no value. But what? That Paul was evil? Yes, he was evil. For the sake of the visitors, let's see what Galatians chapter 2 says, speaking of Peter. Why did Paul refer to him in this way? You know that this has always been in the Word, but I couldn't see it till that day. And I was a person that studied the Word, but it was hidden from me. Look at what verse 11 says. Now when Peter, when Peter had come to Antioch, what did Paul do? I withstood him to his face, because Peter was what? Peter was to be condemned. Certainly, because you are deprived of the blessings of Christ. You get a rosary, you have to count the beads, but Christ is of no value, because God is a God of covenant. It's like in the Old Testament, he said, the male that doesn't get circumcised, separate him from the people, stone him, get him out. He's no good, because God is a God of covenants. So you have to be where God is. God isn't over there. God is here. And if you were over there, you have to exit out, because God moves. So you have to be behind God. Like in the Old Testament, whenever the cloud lifted above the tent, the Israelites set out. So God moved after the cross. After the cross, a new covenant was established. And religion has lied to the world. Not because they're evil, but because one blind man tells another blind man, here, I'll take you. I don't know if you remember the story I said one day of the blind man on Fifth Avenue in New York. He was with his cane, looking for someone to help him cross over, because Fifth Avenue has many lanes. So what happened? All of a sudden, someone touched him and grabbed him. He says, fantastic. And he started walking. And when they both walked across, a car hit them both. And it was that another blind man was also seeking help. And there are many blind people in the Church of Christ. The Pope is blind, the Father is blind, the priest, the nun. And I'm not saying that they are evil. They are persons to the contrary. You see how they want to serve God. They love God. But you know why I know that they love God? Because I was also blind over there. I was in circumcision. Tell your brethren beside you, I preferred the truth. And I place myself in the true gospel. The uncircumcision